So Google Forms is a really straightforward way of collecting some data. And here is an example. It's a survey that I created in February of this year, and it's looking at attitudes towards running. And we've collected some data, and I can go to the responses tab, and it's going to show me the various responses. What type of surfaces do people want to run on? What is the main reason why they run? And so on. But we've got 74 responses. It's not super easy to just read all of that and interpret it, particularly the open-ended comments. If it was just closed comments, it would be pretty straightforward. So what can we do instead to make that process easier? And I'm going to show you how you can use an automated tool that will do the first pass at doing the analysis for you. And that tool is called the Data Analyzer from ResearchWiseAI. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new project. I'm going to give it a name, Running Survey 2025. I'm going to upload the data from the file I created, and I've stored it here. And this is exactly as I downloaded the data. I've not changed it or modified it in any way. It shows me all of the variables. Do I want to analyze them? Well, I don't want to try to analyze the timestamp. All of those other questions are straightforward. It tells me that that's going to cost 61 credits. 61 credits really is not very much money at all, and is fewer than the number of free credits you get when you create a system, actually. So you could, if this was your first project, you could run it for free. So let's hit create. So it starts to create the project. So this brings us to the business question. What is it I really want to understand? So let's type in, why do people run? What are their motivations and goals? So it's going to go away now, and it's going to start processing that information for me. And there'll be a short pause. I've actually truncated this video slightly so that it runs just a little bit quicker. And while that's running, I've done the maths. It would cost you less than $1 to run this study, and you could do about 80 of them for free with a new account. And once it's analysed all the data, it starts to write a summary for us. So here's our overall summary. Running is a globally popular activity embraced by individuals of all ages and backgrounds. A recent survey involving 73 participants provides valuable insights into the motivations and goals of runners, revealing a diverse and engaged community. This report aims to explore the reasons why people run, the challenges they face, and the implications for businesses targeting this demographic. So it looks at the demographics of the data I collected. So these are all people from my extended running network. 48% identified as male, 52% as female. The distribution showed predominant representation to 46 to 60-year-olds, and then it looks at the other groups. But this is where we start to get something a bit more interesting. Physical and mental health coming through as the top theme that it's talking about. Then we get social and community aspects. And then we have personal challenges and goals. So many runners are motivated by personal challenges and competition. The running community is vibrant, diverse, with individuals focusing on personal growth and improving performance. Ambitious goals range from achieving personal bests in the 5 kilometres to conquering half marathons, full marathons. And they even talk about some people doing ultra distances. Diverse preferences for running environments. The most popular were trails. And again, this is going to reflect to some extent the fact this is my running network, because one of the key things I personally do is I run a lot of trails. Tracks and treadmills much further behind. In terms of frequency, just over half the data people are running 3 to 4 times a week. What are the challenges that they face? Then some implications for businesses who might want to target them, and then a conclusion. So in 2 or 3 minutes, I've downloaded that data, and the data analyzer has gone through and it's come up with a nice first summary of what it all means, combining the open-ended and the closed comments together. Now, we can dive into that data for more detail. So we could have a look at how often people run, for example. And it gives a little summary at the top, and then it gives me a chart, and we can see the distribution. And amongst the people who answered this survey, really everybody is running once or twice a week or more often, just a handful of people falling outside of that category. When we look at this question about what sort of surfaces they run on, we see that the trail and road are way, way ahead, and there's almost nobody running on beach, fells, and somebody has a very specific mention there that they've typed in. What are the main reasons that you run? And when it looks at this sort of data, it gives us a little written summary. Then it gives us a word cloud, and we can see here just how big mental health is as a concept. And it's also broken it into themes, so we can see health, mental well-being, enjoyment, challenge, and so on. And we can dive into that mental well-being and look at the sort of statements that people made when they were typing in. So these are the actual verbatims that people were typing in around that topic. So I can get as deep into this data as I like. And if we go to have a look at maybe one more of the categories, we can have a look at their ambitions for 2025, and we can see references to a half marathon, a specific half marathon. When we categorize those, instead of being names of things, we get performance improvement, distance, casual enjoyment, event, participation, injury recovery. So let's have a look at what we can see in injury recovery. Finish rehabbing, recover from injury to get faster and have an injury-free session. So again, we can dive into the absolute statements that come underneath all of that. So if we go back to the top level, we can export that data if we want to. We could export it as a presentation. We could export it as a short written report, or we could export the data file. So I'm going to click on export the data file. There is obviously a pause while it does that, and then I can open that data file. And what we've got here is the raw data that it was looking at, and the categorizations that it's applied to that. So if we look at this piece of data here, what is the main reason that you run? We can then see that it's coded that. So we've got all the themes for that data, so we could now process it somewhere else. And we've got the sentiment analysis around that as well. So I hope that has been useful. If you would like to find out more, then visit ResearchWiseAI.com. And what you would want to do is run the data analyzer. So come and visit us at ResearchWiseAI.com. You will get some free credits if you sign up. There are lots and lots of other tools there as well. There's a PII scanner, which will look to see whether or not you've got personally identifiable information in your data file. You can talk to Virtual Ray, so you can ask research questions and get answers. You can build word clouds, and there's a stack of free videos and online courses which you can subscribe to there as well. So I hope we see you there.